Hey guys, it's G, and today I'm doing a video about me trying to get cigarettes back when I was using. So, back when I was using, I never really bought, cigarettes or, nicotine, none like that. So, I'd always have to, steal it, whether it's from, my mom or, asking, one of the homies being like, yo, you trying to, let me have that puff bar? Or, because, sometimes they give me, a brand new one, you know? But that would rarely happen. That's happened 3 fucking times. But so one night, I was probably low on weed because the function of smoking is just addicting to me. And I just didn't have any weed. I was stressing out. I'm like, bro, I really want to smoke. So I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna get some cigarettes? My mom, she's asleep. She how the fuck am I gonna get this shit? If I wake her up being in there, how am I gonna play that shit off? And I was just thinking, bro, I really want these cigarettes. Because, maybe, an hour has gone by, and I was like, no, that's, too risky. So, I'm like, well, fuck, dude, I really want these cigarettes. And I go open the door. I wait, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And I get on my hands and knees. I start crawling like a fucking dog. For real. I'm, searching in her jacket just to see if her cigarettes is in her jacket or not. They weren't in her jacket. Her purse is on the bed with her, and it's on the other side of where the door is from the bed. So, I'm, crawling around, and I'm so anxious. The TV's playing, so I'm like, all right, I have a little bit of noise to cover me if I make a little creak in the fucking carpet or whatever. And I'm just fucking crawling like a fucking toddler. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And right now, I'm right next to the part where her purse is, and she's facing her purse while she's sleeping. I can hear her snoring, so I know that she's at least somewhat asleep. And I'm just like, well, fuck, man. I'm starting to get even more anxious. I'm like, fuck, should I even be doing this? And I'm like, no, dude, fuck it. So I get up. I start moving hella slow. I grab the purse, trying to make no noise at all. I put it on the ground. I'm on my fucking knees, trying to open the zipper hella slow. And I'm looking. I'm like, okay, fuck. So I'm trying to go through her purse without making any noise because, she got keys and shit in there. And if something moves, hit the keys, it's just kind of loud. Or me trying to pull out the cigarettes and the keys drop somewhere farther in the purse or something. And I'm like, all right, fuck, dude. So it's taking me 5 fucking minutes just to pull these fucking packs of cigarettes out so I can grab one or two. That's how desperate I was just to get some type of smoke. And I fucking grabbed the pack and I'm opening it slowly. That's gonna make hella noise because I'm just hella fucking anxious. I've always been anxious, but I was just fuck, dude, I'm really not trying to get caught. And I take out 2 cigarettes. Actually, no, I probably took out 1, and I was like, fuck yeah, I got the jackpot. And I put it back. I put the purse back on the fucking bed. I don't zip it up because I'm like, well, fuck, dude. Actually, no, I think I zipped it up, and then I put it back on the bed. I start crawling like a fucking toddler again with this cigarette in my mouth. And, I'm just, crawling. I get back to my room, and I'm smoking a cigarette. I probably had, a tiny bit of weed, maybe, a gram or less. And, I smoke a tiny bit of tree. And I was sitting here, and I smoked, half the cigarette, smoked a little bit of weed, sat here for maybe, 30 minutes to an hour. I'm like, well, fuck. I smoked the other half. And I'm like, I know damn well I'm going to want a cigarette again, right before I go to bed, because I used to smoke a cigarette right before I go to bed and then right in the morning. Or at least I would smoke something, whether it's a cigarette, weed, maybe pop a Xan or something. I always needed some type of drug in the morning back then. And, I'm like, fuck, dude. So I go back to the door again. I push it open because I left it cracked. And it made a tiniest little squeak kind of thing. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So I wait outside in the living room. I'm sitting on the couch fuck, dude. How the fuck am I gonna get these cigarettes? Now I'm even more anxious. I'm like, all right, I already did this once, is she gonna notice that I took cigarettes in the morning? Because like taking one, that's like noticeable, but like taking two, that's kind of like pushing it. And I'm just like, well, fuck, dude. Like, how the fuck am I gonna do this without my ass getting handed to me? And I start crawling. I'm like, fuck, man. I keep on crawling. I get to the side where the purse is. I do the exact same thing, but I unzip the purse. I grab one more cigarette out, put it back in my mouth, put it back on the bed, leave it unzipped in case, like, I was like, no, dude, fuck it. I might put this back, or like, I might need another one. So I put the purse back and I start crawling. I smoke half a cigarette. I'm like, damn, really shouldn't have done that. Like, I'm gonna get caught. My ass is gonna be handed to me. I'm gonna be so fucked. And like, because like I would always smoke in my room back then. Now I can't smoke in my room because like I'm not using. I just smoke nicotine to keep me from wanting to use other things. And I've been doing pretty good on that. I'm 9 months sober right now. And like, I'm just like, fuck, dude, I'm really about to get my ass handed to me. Like, what the fuck, dude? Why? Like, just my addict mind always came first. And then, like, when I'm, like, finally get what I want, I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? Like, you literally just fucking gave yourself a death sentence. Like, you dumbass. Like, so, I go to sleep. I put my cigarette right next to my bed, next to some books and shit. And, you know, I wake up. My mom's like, you take some cigarettes? And I was like, no. And she was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, why would I do that? I got my own fucking tobacco that I can just roll. Because, like, when I would get blunt, like, Swishers or, like, Dutches or whatever, I would keep the tobacco just so I can roll up a cigarette right quick. Because, like, if it worst came down to worst, I would always just, like, try to roll a cigarette. But that shit is so bad. Like, you have to get it just right for it to, like, not hit weird and, like, hurt your throat and all that shit. And I'm just like, well, fuck, man. And I'm like, no, I got my own tobacco, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, all right. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, that's close. But I've done that multiple times. And I've gotten caught a few times. Just that shit's scary as fuck to me. It's like a whole ass fucking movie mission. Like, oh, fuck. Like, what the fuck is about to happen? Like, she gonna wake up? Like, whoop-de-whoop and all this other shit. But, like, I don't know. That's really the end of the story. I hope you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, and yeah, peace out.